Hi guys, it's Mary Ellen. Welcome back to my channel. This video is the second video in my three-part series on starting a planner Instagram. In today's video, I'm going to be covering how to take your best Instagram photos. I'm going to talk about styling. I'm going to talk about what to put your planners on when you take the photos. I'm going to talk about lighting, all that kind of stuff. So if you're interested in learning more about how to take a good photo for Instagram, stick around. This video has been requested so many times. I've hesitated to make this video for so long just because I didn't know how I would explain how I do this. So this video is going to be all about styling photos for Instagram, how I take my flat lays and how I decide which props to use and stuff like that. So it's like hard to explain, but I do this all the time. Sometimes I feel like all I do is take photos. Like I'm taking them all the time. And my living room and my bedroom are always like filled with props and stuff. But what I decided to do with this video is kind of just take you through an example of how I do things. So let's go. But before I show you how I take the photos, I just wanted to talk about something first. So after I make a spread, I look at the colors in that spread and I try to decide what discs they would look good on. Now, if you're not a happy planner, you can ignore this part, but the happy planner has these colored discs. So I made this spread yesterday and here's what it looks like. It's cute, it's colorful. I could easily put it in a planner with black discs and it would look cute. I could put it in a planner with white discs, it would look cute, but I have and you don't even have to put it in a planner. So I have a Happy Notes notebook here and I decided that it would probably look best with rainbow discs. Now, when you see people posting Instagram photos and they have different color discs in their pictures, they're not changing the discs every time in their planner. What they're doing is they have other planners that they have, like either Happy Notes or other planners that they have different color discs. So if you don't have a lot of planners, this won't apply to you. If you're new to happy planning and you only could have one planner, get a planner with neutral discs because it's going to match any spread. I put a lot of planner spreads on white and black discs. I don't even know if you can buy white discs. It came on a planner, but so I decided that this one would look the best on rainbow discs since it was a really colorful, bright, and cheery spread. So the first thing I'm doing is popping it into this Happy Notes. So after I take the photo, I'm just gonna take these pages out and pop them into my regular planner. That way, I don't have to change the disc color in my planner. I can just use these. Anyway, that's a little tip. I don't take pictures in here because the lighting's not great, so I'm gonna take you in my living room and we're gonna check out what I do. So as you can see, I'm in my living room. This is the best place in my house to take photos. And the reason is the lighting in here, well, right now it's really good. It's not always this good, but it's very soft coming from the windows. You cannot take your photos in bright, direct sunlight. You will get tons of shadows on your pictures. That's not what you want. Your friend is diffuse lighting. So for me to get the best lighting, what I have to do in my house is open my front door. So I go over here, open it up, and it just brings a lot more lighting in here, and you can see it kind of changed the look of the room. So I typically take my photos on two types of backgrounds. A white foam core board, you can get this at any craft store, and I have like a colored background. I usually do both so that I can decide later which one's the best one for me to use for my feed. I am doing something at the end of this video a little bit different about this, and you'll see what that is. Now that I chose the perfect spot for taking my photo, I'm gonna lay my foam core board down on the floor and grab my planner. So I'm using a different planner spread than the one I showed you before, but I just wanted to show you that this time I'm using white discs because I decided that white discs were gonna match this planner spread the best. There's Bumble. And I'm just gonna place it down on my foam core board. Now you can do a couple of things with this. You can do it like this, or you can angle them a little bit, which I think gives it a little bit of interest. You can angle them either way, but this time I'm gonna show you using it just straight on. Okay, so now I need to talk about props, and this is always the most difficult part because there's so many different props you can use. You can use props related to the theme of your spread. So with this spread, it's all about summer. So if you had, I don't know, a beach ball or a pair of sunglasses or something like that, you can place them around your spread just to make it fun and related to the theme. I'm not going to do that today, but what I'm going to show you is sticker books. I pretty much almost always include the sticker books that I use in a spread. Now, if you use like 10 sticker books, don't do that. Oh my gosh, Bumble. But
she's sneezing?
I don't know what she's doing. Sticker books are always good to use in your spread. Washi tape, pens, the things you use in your planner spread. You can also use plants, you can use candles, you can use mugs, that type of thing. I'm gonna put a printable list in the description box so you can download that of all of like the props that I can think of, because I decided to do that recently because I thought it would help me out. So check that out and that'll give you some more ideas. But for this spread, I'm going to use this sticker book because this is what I used for it. I'm going to throw it down like that. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to grab this plant. A lot of times I just look around the room to, you know, see what I can find. And so this plant I think will look cute. I'm going to place it right in the middle, and then I'm going to grab a candle. Again, I just have this sitting around my room, and oh, there's a sticker on the back. Make sure that's not showing. And then I am going to just kind of arrange it in a way that looks cute. So I might do this. Probably do like that. Sometimes you can overlap them and stuff like that. So now I'm ready to take my photo. Make sure there's no yucky stuff on the board. What is this? Get that off. Make sure there's no cat hair or dog hair on your board before you take it. And now it's time to take your photo. So I take a lot of different photos of the same thing just so that I can be sure that I get what I'm looking for. So the first thing I do, I'm using an iPhone 10. The first thing I do is go to square mode. So on Instagram, you always want to crop your photos into square. I like to take it in the square cropped settings so I don't have to crop it later. And then I come down here and I'm gonna just put it within the frame, see how I want it. And then I'm gonna snap my picture. Sometimes I come back up here and do it like from farther away, and here's why. Because I like to sometimes edit it like this, and I like to turn it. So if I change my mind on that angle, whoops, I will kind of turn it, and that gives me more room to work with if I pull it away, but I don't always do it that way. Sometimes if I'm sure, I always go in for a square crop. All right, so I like to take a whole bunch of photos of the same thing and I will switch it up. So this is just a different configuration of my props. And that way when I go back over and look at the photos, I can then decide which one's the best for me. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and take the same photos on the blue background. And I'm not only doing this to see what it will look like on the blue background, but I'm also doing it because in case the lighting's not perfect on the white, it's sometimes a lot easier to edit it on the color background. Sometimes the white looks gray. So I'm just gonna do the same thing. Put these down and I'm gonna take like the same shot like that. One thing I forgot to mention when I was out there filming, and I didn't want to bring everything back out and film it over again, was to talk about the difference between a flat lay and other kinds of photos. A flat lay is going to be if you hold your camera over the photo, and you can use your phone or a camera, it doesn't matter. You're going to want to be directly on top. so that it is flat on top of everything in that photo. There are like times when you can angle it a little bit depending on the look you're going for, but in my opinion, the best looking Instagram photos of planners are the ones where you're directly on top of the picture. It's going to give you a whole different look. I've seen some accounts that are like angled a whole lot so you can barely see the page. I don't think that's a great look, so definitely hold it over the top as best you can so that it's like you see the whole thing. I hope that makes sense. One thing I forgot to mention is that I've been using an iPhone 10 to take my pictures for the past 1.5 years, and it's been working great. You can use a regular camera. I just found that it doesn't make a whole lot of difference for me. I have a Canon DSLR and it's like pretty similar. I did just upgrade to an iPhone 11, but I haven't really started taking photos with it yet. I have heard though that the like low light setting is really, really good. So if you're somebody who doesn't have a lot of light, like natural light in your house, or if you work during the day and want to take your pictures in the evening when you come home, the lighting's not as good, then you can definitely check out the iPhone 11 because I think that it's like going to be easier for you with less editing of your photos. Okay, so I promised you that at the end of this video, you were going to see something new that I was doing regarding poster boards. And what I decided to do, I have heard about this online because I was trying to find like pale colored poster boards and they're really, really hard to find. Even online, like it's really hard to find them. Even if you get packs of like a lot of different colors, most of the time they're bright colors. So I wanted some really pale colors. So what I decided to do after doing some research was to paint them. So I'm going to take you out back and I'm going to show you how I paint poster board or foam core board. I haven't tried this yet, so this is all new to me. So hopefully this is going to work out. And if it does, I'm going to show you at the end the result of the poster boards that I paint. Okay, I would recommend not doing this with a dog in the backyard. I would also recommend doing it in the garage because there's little gnats here that keep getting into my board. And I would suggest checking the paint before you start because for some reason this paint was really thick and I had a really hard time. But the board is done. I'm gonna let it dry and see if it needs any touching up. And then we will go from there. I'm gonna make a pink one, a purple one, a blue one, a green one, a yellow one, and maybe an orange one, peach. I don't know, we'll see how it goes. But this is an idea. If you can't find the boards in the color that you want, this is a really good idea to just create your own. So, a little DIY for you. All right, so I ended up painting all of them. Now what I did was I went front and back. So I have like this one, I have yellow and purple on the back. It's actually really helpful to paint both sides because it's gonna help with curling. This one, let's see, this one is still curled a little bit. This is green and then the pink. Now this one, I only painted the one side. I painted it blue. I actually have to go back and paint a little bit more. You can see that it's not working out so great. There's some white spots there, but I did not paint the back yet. And you can see that it's super curled. So I think once I lay some paint down, whoops, oh great, I just wrinkled it. Once I lay some paint down on the other side, I think it will definitely flatten it out a little bit. What I'm gonna do with these is maybe take some weights or something on the sides and try to like flatten them out that way. But this one's not so bad. Like this one I've already taken photos on and it's totally fine. Like it's pretty flat. So just take some acrylic paint, some like a foam roller, and just go to town. And I think that it's really good and cheap and you won't be sorry. All right, so that's all I've got for you today. I hope you guys enjoyed this and maybe got something out of it. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions, and check out the link for that printable. Next week is going to be the third part in the series, and that's about editing photos, and that one's super important. So you're gonna wanna check that out, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I hope you guys have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.